Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Now, even though the odds may appear as though they are now starting to be stacked against our heroes in battle, it would seem as though there is but a glimmer of hope amongst the chaos that is now starting to take place back on Earth. And even though these events are certainly unexpected, if our heroes fall short of capitalizing on this moment, then I'm afraid they will not be able to bounce back from this onslaught so easily.
Our story now continues following the initial events of Goku Black now summoning his dark forces from across different timelines and going head-to-head against our heroes, to which during the midst of battle as Ultra Ego Vegeta was shown having to go head-to-head against none other than Super Saiyan Rose Vegeta Black was when Vegeta Black then went on to respond, "Have you no idea on who we are and what we're all capable of, Saiyan? For you may wield a similar power to a destroyer, but that doesn't mean that you effectively know on how to use it in the ways in which it is intended for it to be used." Oh, is that so? Ultra Ego Vegeta responds upon being shown having to grab Vegeta Black's hand. And here I was expecting a bit more out of you, but go on, do tell. Go on, enlighten me on where it was that I went wrong here, because since you appear to be the expert in knowing on how to use destructive power, then why don't you go on to educate me on how? You do know how to use my own power more effectively than I do, right? Because I don't think that you actually do, and it's starting to look like this is the case the more we begin to engage, but do you want to know what I think? I think that you went and made the right choice by choosing to steal the body of the most elite Saiyan warrior to ever exist. However, the part where you went and made a grave mistake in was going as far as to assume that you know how to use my body along with my power better than I ever could. And that couldn't be further from the truth, you pathetic excuse for an imposter. Because despite what you think you may know, and despite whatever it was that you went and did in the world which you came from, just know that what you are looking at that's standing before you is everything that you ever feared that a Saiyan would end up becoming. A god. A true god, Vegeta continues. And not some low-level Kaioshin who could never even dream of ever going as far as I could in being able to get anything done. For you could never know what carrying the weight of a Saiyan's pride on your shoulders feels like, Kaioshin. As you could never understand or come to terms with the burden that I carry along with the power that I wield, Kaioshin. And so you could only ever pretend to be just like me, but in reality, Vegeta says upon being shown headbutting Vegeta Black in the face, for you could never be anything like me no matter how hard you tried and no matter what you did to try and make yourself emulate my power, Vegeta continues, as you will always and forever remain as my second and never anything close to being my equal. But then, it was only just during the middle of Ultra Ego Vegeta being shown having to uppercut Super Saiyan Rose Vegeta Black in the face was when from out of nowhere beneath Vegeta, that was when Trunks Black was then shown having to make his way towards Vegeta by then shouting, "These words and these so-called actions of yours are but a frail and weak attempt of trying to subvert the inevitable when deep down, you know that the end is near, mortal," with Vegeta responding, "Oh really?" says the pathetic Kai, who thought that by stealing my son's body would it go and give him a better chance at changing the course of history, when in actuality and in all realities it won't, and so you ought to watch on who you're fighting here, Zamasu. That's right, Kaioshin, Orange Piccolo went on to appear from out of nowhere and elbowing Trunks Black in the spine, because I'm the one whom you're fighting here, and so don't try and overlook me and expect to get by without me having anything to say about it, you parasites. As your fight is with me and me alone, you got that? And so if you and your gang of imposters came here looking for a war, Piccolo continues, then you better come and hit us with everything you've got, because you bastards are in for a very rude awakening by the time we're done. To which it was only moments after Orange Piccolo was then shown knocking Trunks Black on over to the ground was when Piccolo then went on to address Vegeta by then telling him, "Listen, I'll go and handle him from here, just make sure that you try not to take your eyes off of these guys no matter what," Piccolo says, "because one mistake, one error in our judgment, and one fatal misstep and it could end badly," Piccolo continues, "and so we can't let these guys get the leg up on us, and so we'll need to try and finish them all off now while we can. And so whatever you do, try not to give them any room to go and pull something on us, okay?" But then, it was only suddenly now from out of nowhere in front of Ultra Ego Vegeta was when Vegeta Black was then shown charging up for a final flash and then responding, "As if you mortals are going to be given the chance to try it, as the end will certainly come at the expense of each and every single one of you, Saiyan. And it'll come at a price which you are about to pay dearly with once I blast you away into a million pieces. You and all those who are just like you will all be destroyed just as you were all destroyed in my timeline." In which it was only moments after with Super Saiyan Rose Vegeta Black then shown having to unleash a gigantic final flash directly at Ultra Ego Vegeta was when Zamasu then went on to chime in, "Now you listen and you listen up well, son Goku. While our foes stand formidable, we must not lose sight of our primary objective, which is for us to target and take down Goku Black himself," Zamasu says, "as it would be a tactical error for us to engage each adversary with the intent to destroy them, as for the smarter and more effective strategy lies in displacing them," Zamasu continues, sending Goku Black's army back to the timelines which they had came from, as this approach conserves our strength against the true enemy in this entire battle, and that is Goku Black first and foremost. For if and only if we go as far as to ignore this notion, then we will be risking us being destroyed if we don't solely focus on him and only him while we can, as there will be no other chance if we fail to go and stop them all here and now. But in order for this to work, then I would ask for you to please trust me and trust that I am not a part of his sick and twisted vision of wanting to rule over the entire multiverse and wanting to be just like Lord Zeno, with Goku then responding, "Well, I guess since you put it that way, but how exactly are you sure about this?" Goku questions. "What exactly would you need for me and the others to go and do in order for this plan of yours to actually work out there against them?" With Zamasu responding, "Well, in order for me to get a good lead on them, you will have to try and garner their attention long enough for me to open a portal by using my time ring. As from there, if there is any sort of way to get us to knock them within these portals, would that be all that we need in order to get the job done?" With Goku responding, "So what you're saying is one of us would have to be bait for each one, am I right?" With Zamasu responding, "Well, I didn't really think of it like that, but yes. And all I'd need is for one of you to go and distract each fighter and knock them within the portal the moment I'm shown opening them." With Goku responding, "Well, if that's the case, then I think I know exactly what to do in order for this to work, so let's hurry up and get a move on before something happens to the others, alright?" In which back on over with Super Saiyan Rose Vegeta Black being shown landing on down in assuming victory over Ultra Ego Vegeta was when Vegeta Black then went on to chime in, "There we are now. Did that fool truly think that he was strong enough to go and hold out against an attack of that magnitude? Well, big mistake, Vegeta, because despite being the so-called original, I'm still better. And no amount amount of destroyer power will ever change that between us, Saiyan. Because how fitting was it for a true god such as me to poetically go and show you what true destruction feels like, as surprisingly enough from within the smoke, unbeknownst to Vegeta Black, as Ultra Ego Vegeta was standing behind the debris, was when Vegeta then went on to chime back in. If you truly think that by using my own attack against me was going to be what ends my life in this battle against you, then I'm afraid you've gravely miscalculated, Kaioshin. For there's a difference between us, Zamasu, as you're an opportunist snatching power whenever you can in hopes of becoming the strongest that you can possibly be. But my power, however, isn't something that you can easily go and steal and try to make as your own. For it is built upon a very large foundation of relentless training and years of battles that you couldn't dare to even possibly imagine. No, but how? How did you survive that just now? You shouldn't have been able to endure that. With Vegeta continuing, how I survived is far more simple than you care to even acknowledge, but even now, are you starting to see? As your power amassed through theft and underhanded means for mere revenge pales in comparison to the strength I forged throughout my life, Vegeta continues, and I did it while remembering who I was and what it was that I was striving to achieve. And so I'll give it to you and admit that your power is quite interesting to say the least, but your power is nothing when placed up against mine, and judging from the look that I see in your eyes, you know that this is true. You're feeding off Goku Black, aren't you? Thought I wasn't able to tell? As it only makes sense since he's the strongest among your tribe of stolen warriors, but I'm starting to wonder now on just how much longer you think you can keep this going before you start to crack under the pressure, Kaioshin. Hey, look, down there, Goku went on to then point out to Zamasu by responding. It's Vegeta, and so should we go and start with him since they're the closest ones to us since the others are a bit farther out, or what? Yes, but we'll need to hurry and make this quick so that way the others don't catch on as to what it is that we're doing, and so I need you to cause a distraction of some kind and find a way to draw that warrior towards me upon my signal, Zamasu continues. Oh, how dare you even think that it's acceptable to speak to a god with that kind of language, Saiyan, as I am going to make you eat those words while dancing on your grave, Vegeta. That much I can ensure you. But then, it was only from out of nowhere now above Vegeta Black as Goku went on to garner his attention was when Goku then went on to shout, "Hey Zamasu, over here! Listen, if you're starting to feel a little overwhelmed out here while fighting us, we won't judge you if you decide to want to quit and go back to where it is that you came from, and so let us know and we'll make sure to take it easy on you, okay? Do you have any idea on the danger you mortal creatures have placed yourselves in? For we are only just getting started here," Vegeta Black went on to then respond, "so once I'm done with him, then I'll be coming for you." But then, it was only once again from out of nowhere before Vegeta Black even went as far as to finish his sentence, where Vegeta had now gone as far as to punch Vegeta Black in the face by then responding, "Once you're done with who exactly here, you fool? Your fight is with me, not him." And so now, where were we? To which even then, with Zamasu now noticing that this was his only opportunity in putting Vegeta Black away, was when Zamasu then went on to respond, "Yes, there's my opening, and so I must hurry and time this right in order for this to work. And so for all it's worth, let's just hope that it does. So here goes," Zamasu continues. "Treacherous heathens, I cannot allow for you to go and set these sick and twisted plans of yours and have them go into motion, while simultaneously knowing that you are using my name to do it, defiler." Whoa, just look at that. I think it's working, Goku then went on to then chime back in. "I see it now. He went and created a portal that leads back into the alternate Zamasu's world, but will it hold? I never wanted to turn out to be anything like any of you," Zamasu went on to then respond upon being shown having to use his time ring and opening a portal. "Nor could I stand in my own way of being so hypocritical as to want to destroy mortals yet go and steal their bodies to do it. And so in this process, disappear," to which as Vegeta Black was then shown having to go back to his timeline was when Vegeta Black then went on to shout, "God, what are you doing, Zamasu? How could you? No, you dirty little traitor! You haven't seen the last of me, you treacherous infamous little worm, for we will find you no matter where you are. As this was now it, because with 1 down and 3 more to follow, it was only as Vegeta was looking on in absolute shock was when Vegeta then went on to respond, "Wait, what just happened to him? What was that strange wormhole that opened up behind him just now? He surely didn't appear as though he wanted to escape, and so if his intention wasn't to get away from me, then where did he just go? And what was that just now? Hey, look, it actually worked," Goku then went on to quickly shout, which only now means that with 1 down, there's only 2 more to go, and then Goku Black is all alone. To which even then, to his own surprise, during the midst of battle against none other than Ikari Broly was when Goku Black had now gone as far as to turn his head around by then responding, "What just happened out there, and why can't I sense Vegeta Black's energy anymore either? Wait a second. What did those mortals just do? Where's Vegeta Black, and how was it that they were able to transport him away from here unless... wait a minute. But of course, I should have known that this would happen. But I didn't think that it actually would," Black continues. "And to think that one of my own would go and turn against me like this and side with the very filth that we sought out to eradicate. For it's a betrayal of the highest order, as I cannot and I will not allow for this to stand. That traitor will rue the day that he ever decided to stand against me, as my vengeance will be swift and merciless by the time I'm done with him. That much I promise that it will. And so how could I have been so blind to not see this act coming?" Black questions. "But no matter, for you had went and sealed your fate, you little weasel. For my wrath will serve as his ultimate undoing by the time this day is over. But nevertheless, his actions and the actions that he had taken to ruin my plans will be dealt with soon. But there's no time to dwell on such treacheries," Black went on to continue upon overseeing a massive explosion in front of him, "especially not while Broly stands before me, and from the looks of it, it would only now appear as though he is finally ready to show me on what his full and true power is capable of, which had also been something that I was waiting for since we started," Black continues. "And so this should be a good enough gauge for me in finding out where I stand," Black went on. "And while I trained myself in preparing for this exact situation, from what I can immediately notice is that Broly here has still yet to find a way to control himself along with his power, which makes for a very interesting situation regardless," Black went on to continue upon seeing Broly transform. "And if I fail to best him while using my present form, then I will go and do what I must and use my final ace card if I hope to survive. Yes, that's right, Broly. Show me. Show me what the apex power of your warrior race is really all about. Show me what your power truly is, and I promise that I will go and show you what my full power is all about as well." But even then, in the meantime, elsewhere on the battlefield, with Ultra Ego Vegeta now being shown having to spot Zamasu inserting himself in this battle, was when Vegeta was shown having enough of Zamasu's antics by from that point then being shown dashing towards Zamasu and shouting, "And then there's you! You should have remained in whatever timeline Goku Black went and pulled you out of, Zamasu! You're finished!" But then, it was only now from out of nowhere in between Vegeta and Zamasu was when Ultra Instinct Goku was then shown having to get in between them by grabbing onto Vegeta's shoulder and responding, "Vegeta, wait! Now I know how this might look, but this isn't what you think, okay? Oh, and just what the hell do you think you're doing, Kakarot? What are you talking about? You better start explaining yourself right now," with Goku responding, "Now just hold on for a second and just listen to me, okay? This Zamasu here isn't the same Zamasu that we once knew, nor is he on Goku Black's side either, Vegeta, as this Zamasu here is different from the one that we know, and so therefore he wants to help us stop Black from further carrying out his acts against us all," Goku says. "He's seen the havoc that Goku Black has created since being brought back, and he wants to make things right by putting an end to Goku Black before he could cause any more damage, Vegeta. And so we've always found a way to overcome the odds before, right? Well, believe it or not, Zamasu's plan here could be the key in finally ending Black's terror once and for all, and and so I know it might sound crazy, but we'll just need to go and trust him if we hope for any of this to work, with Vegeta responding, "Oh, have you lost your mind, Kakarot? This is Zamasu who we're dealing with here, and so what makes you think that he has it out in doing anything of the sorts to help us out in battle? You've lost your mind, you know that?" With Zamasu having to then chime in, "Listen, you may choose to go and believe me if you wish, but now is not the time for us to bump heads while Black's dark forces are still out there on the battlefield," Zamasu adds, "for we must hurry and go and send them all back so that way we may go and handle the real enemy together," Zamasu notes, "because the more time that we continue to waste, the stronger his army will continue to grow," Zamasu says, "and so if we go and remove them all from this equation, then this will only leave but one more for us to engage, which we cannot run the risk of letting go or overlooking while we still have the time to act on something, and so you must trust me," as it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of Goku Black's resurrection manga chapter number 15 special then comes to a close. Now you can make no mistake about the fact that with Goku Black now understanding and finding out who the traitor amongst his army actually is by seeing it for himself, one could only go as far as to imagine as to what Goku Black is going to do once he is able to get his hands on future Zamasu. But on top of this, with the way this alternate future Zamasu appears to be operating, it only now looks as though they are aiming on singling out Goku Black and leaving him for last, but the question there ultimately then ends up becoming on whether or not Goku Black is going to be strong enough in enduring the onslaught by our heroes if he has nothing left, to which this and so much more is going to be coming your way. So again, I can't wait to show you guys as to what we have coming up next involving Goku Black, because with the way things are going to be transitioning and with what Goku Black is going to be unveiling next, I really feel as though you guys are going to absolutely love on what's about to happen next. So again, I want to thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Thank you all so much for your time, to which as always, if you guys also just so happen to be new to this channel, then I do encourage for you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button, on top of making sure to give this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below. Tune back in for more, and with all that being said, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, everybody, and have a great day. Peace!
Hello! Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi!
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.